Get ready, because today I'm going to talk about 7 qualities that you can use to build a thriller hero. By the way, my name is Brandon McNulty. I'm the author of Bad Parts, also the author of Entry Wounds, and welcome to my writing channel. Last week I talked about the key elements of a thriller story. I talked about James Frey's book, How to Write a Damn Good Thriller, and what his 7 pillars of a thriller story were. And he also, in this book, talked about the qualities of a thriller hero. And I thought I'd follow up last week's video with a video today on what you can use in order to build a thriller hero. So what we'll talk about today are these 7 qualities of a thriller hero. I'll explain what they are, and I'll give you some popular examples to go along with them. The first quality is that a thriller hero needs to be courageous. And this is important because thriller stories involve a lot of danger and menace and life-threatening obstacles. Now, when you're coming up with your heroes, you can have heroes who are courageous right from the start, people like Indiana Jones who just walk right into the tomb and they're not fazed by the tarantulas or the traps or anything like that. You can also have heroes who are not courageous at the start, but they develop courage over the course of the story. Think about Sarah Connor in the original Terminator movie. She starts off as this waitress, this everyday person, and then she gets chased around by the Terminator. She ends up meeting up with Kyle Reese, and she develops courage over the course of the story. Number 2, thriller heroes are good at what they do for a living. And this is important because audiences naturally trust characters who are good at their jobs. They naturally bond with these types of characters. And another important thing to keep in mind with this is that oftentimes a villain's scheme will be connected to the hero's job. And this is especially true when you have a villain who is a criminal or a terrorist or something along those lines, because oftentimes you'll have the protagonist being a police officer or a federal agent or a secret agent, somebody who can foil those types of villain. Number 3 is that a thriller hero has a special talent. And this talent may or may not be connected to the hero's job, but it's nonetheless something that intrigues the audience. It makes us want to step into that character's shoes. It makes us envy that character. Think about Indiana Jones and his ability with a whip. Think about John Wick being a master of all different types of guns. Think about Batman and all his different abilities, all his different gadgets. Also about how he's intelligent. He's the world's greatest detective. He's also physically imposing. He's powerful. So many different things. You always want your hero to have at least one special talent. Number 4 is that a thriller hero is clever and resourceful. I talked about this in the previous video. It's very important that your hero is clever because a thriller is a type of story where there's a chess match going on between the hero and the villain. There's a lot of back and forth, a lot of strategic maneuvering, and you need a hero who can think for themselves and can outsmart that villain. Number 5 is that a hero is wounded. And a wound could be something physical, like a cut across the face. It could be something psychological, like a trauma that's been haunting the hero. Or it could be something sociological, like society has cast the hero aside for some reason. Whatever it is, you want your character to have a wound because audiences can connect with that wound. Think about Batman. He's got all these amazing things going for him. He's great at basically everything. But the human element to Batman, the thing that we connect with the most, is the fact that he's an orphan. The fact that he saw his parents shot to death right in front of him. We care about that wound, and that's what helps us get invested in his character. Number 6 is that thriller heroes are outlaws. They operate by their own rules. And they might make their own rules in regards to things like fashion or manners or morals or lifestyle. Whatever it is, they operate outside the norm in some area or another. Think about Batman. He's a vigilante. He operates outside of the traditional police system. Think about John Wick spilling blood on hotel property, which goes against the laws of that underworld. Think about all the different characters in thriller-type stories who often are loose cannons, or they go off the handle, or they disobey orders from superiors in order to get the job done. And number 7 is that a thriller hero is self-sacrificing. They put everything on the line in order to stop the villain. And I think it's very important to remember that thriller heroes are self-sacrificing while thriller villains are selfish. That's a key distinction here. When you're coming up with your characters, ask yourself, how can I make my hero, how can I make them sacrifice themselves at some point or another, or at a key moment in the story? And also ask yourself, how can I have my villains being selfish throughout the story and in key moments, especially at the climax of a story where usually you'll have the hero and villain facing off against one another. So I hope this helps. Question of the day, what do you think is the most important quality of a thriller hero? Let us know in the comments section below. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to support the channel, please pick up a copy of either one of my books and be sure to leave reviews on Amazon. Bad Parts is great if you like small town horror. It's about people trading away their sick and injured body parts in order to get healthy again. And then Entry Wounds is great if you like thrillers. It's about a guy who picks up a haunted gun and he cannot put it down until he kills 6 people with it. Also be sure to check out my other videos, like, share, and subscribe. And as always, remember to keep on writing.